Hey, there we are, live on Brunch with Brian, as we are 4 times a week. And I hope you're joining us every time. I see a lot of you guys are already making comments. That's great. So today it's actually National Puzzle Day. So real estate investing can be sort of like a puzzle, right? There's different pieces that you have to get to fit in place to get your puzzle complete, to complete your puzzle. So what are the different puzzle pieces that go into real estate investing that lead to success? Well, I break it down into a few different components. All right. The first component is your, and all this is sort of dependent on the training that you get so you can figure this stuff out. So the first thing you need to do is you got to start off with the right emotional mindset, and that includes two specific emotions that I want you to think about: desire and faith. Those are emotional states. You can be in a state of faith, you can be in a state of desire. Okay, so I want you to think about your goals, think about your desires, what you want, create a bucket list, have a vision board, you know, project your future, create your future in your mind, then you can manifest it in reality. But if you don't create it in your mind first, then it doesn't exist anywhere. And until it exists somewhere, starting in your mind, it's never going to exist in the real world. So if you want your dreams to come true in the real world, you got to create them in detail and be specific in your mind. So desire, be clear about your desires, what you want, your goals, set deadlines for your goals. So that's kind of the first step of this whole process, is having desire, goals, plans, and a schedule. Now I talk about your success trinity, and that's it: goals, plans, and schedule. So do you have clear goals? Do you have deadlines on those goals? Do you have clear plans, detailed plans to help you achieve those goals? And then do you have a schedule that has all those action items that are going to lead to your success actually incorporated into your schedule? So I think that's a big component, having that success trinity worked out: goals, plans, and schedule. Okay, so that's a function of your desire and your faith. Okay, having desire and faith, that plays into that. So I want you to build your desire through visualization. Okay, visualization is the best way to foment your desires, to focus on your desires, and desire to bring them into reality. So I love visualization. I love doing visualization. It helps every time. You can do 10 seconds of visualizing some positive outcome, and you can't believe how much that impacts your confidence, and you just feel that much more confident. So desire, and then faith, having faith that you can be successful. Every time that you do more training, every time that you make a phone call, you're showing faith that you can do this. So again, keep taking action. And even if sometimes your faith is lagging a little bit, have faith and it will happen. If you're making 20 phone calls a week and you just believe that you will eventually find success, and you put your heart and soul behind that, then that's going to happen. That's going to be a state of faith that you have. Okay, now once you have that desire and faith and the right kind of mindset, what's the next piece of the puzzle? Well, that's your business setup. So what does that mean? That means getting your LLC. That means getting your bank account, your business checking account. And that's very easy. You just go to your county, your Secretary of State's website, sign up for an LLC, put your credit card in there once you get your name approved, and then you're going to get articles of organization. Just take those articles of organization along with an EIN number that you get from irs.gov, and that's just how you get your social security number for your business, and you take that down to the bank and get your bank account. And nice big checks with your name on them, with your nice sounding, credible sounding company name on them. Okay, so once you get that done, then you're ready to go into business. You got your checking account, you got your business entity. You're going to start with an operating entity. Eventually, you will have some holding entities, and maybe a flipping entity if you want to do flips. Okay, so then you're going to be set up legally, ready to go. Then marketing is the next piece of the puzzle. Marketing is, you got to find leads, so you got to have some kind of way to find leads. Now, it can be just all outbound calls. That's, one method. You can make outbound calls to FSBOs, landlords, realtors, and even property managers. So you can make a lot of outbound calls, but then there's also other marketing. It's great if you can get sellers to call you. It's great if you're doing something with social media. We have a whole system to teach you how to do social media, so and other marketing. So we have lots of different marketing programs. Okay, come here, honey, come here, Mars. Okay, and so then we come here, babies, come here. Oh, sorry, I got interrupted because they were going in the office where they're not supposed to go. Good girl, that's Willow. Okay, so once you get your business set up, and then you're marketing, some kind of marketing out there, so you're talking to sellers. You got to talk to sellers in the beginning. You can talk to buyers too, but in the beginning, you're talking to sellers. So let's talk to those sellers, call those sellers, however you're finding them through some kind of a marketing something. But I want you making 20 calls a week, and 10 of those should be to sellers at least. At least 10 of those in the beginning should be to sellers. 10 seller calls a week until you've got a deal. Okay, so that's your KPIs for success there. So you got to figure out the marketing so you can find 10 decent sellers to talk to per week. Okay, then it comes down to making your calls. So after the marketing, then you got to actually close the deal on the phone. Okay, so that's an opening call. The pieces of the puzzle here are opening call, closing call, and deal meeting. Those are the three components of every deal you do. You're going to talk to them in an opening call, or somebody will. Sometimes people use virtual assistants, VAs, or other people, local assistants sometimes. And so that would be the person who's making your opening calls, or you're making your opening calls. Then once those are done, some of those will be lousy and no good and suspects, and some of those will still be, potential deals, will be prospects. So then you got to make your closing calls. So some of those will actually end up being deal meetings, and some of them will fall away. And so then out of those deal meetings, hopefully you're having, I'd love it if you were having 1 or 2 deal meetings a week, going out and actually looking at 1 or 2 houses a week. If you're looking at 1 or 2 houses a month, that's okay. But, looking at 1 deal a month, I'd like you to do 1 deal a month. And you'll be more likely to do 1 deal a month and get it through if you're visiting, at least 4 houses a month. So I'd like you to be closing at least half of the houses you go out to. But, so shoot for, 1 to 2 deal meetings a week at least. All right. Now that's your components. That's your pieces of the puzzle. Somebody's doing your opening calls. Somebody's doing your closing calls. And that's you in the beginning. And then eventually you might hire an acquisitionist. Okay. Then after that, what happens? Then your acquisitionist or you go out to the house for the deal meeting, get the paperwork signed. Then the next step, and this is an important step, is the attorney or title company closing. And that includes somebody's got to run title on that property, make sure everything's cool, and that you can proceed forward with the purchase. And then you set up an appointment and get them in there. And this is important, guys. I've written a whole report on this with 12 key tips for your real estate attorney. Some of you have this report. I've given it out as a bonus for certain things, coming to take an action and other things. So this is a really important part of the process, and deals can actually get blown up because your attorney doesn't know what to say, or your title company agent isn't explaining things right. So this is an important little report that I send to any closing agent before we close the deal there. All right, so then the deal closes, right? Okay, so that piece of the puzzle is done. The house is bought and sold. You own the house. Now what do? Okay, what's the next piece of the puzzle? It's getting the house ready to sell. So some of these houses are all ready to go. You bought them through an agent. They're in perfect condition. Some of them need what we call a pretty house polish, or they might need just some, cleaning up, might just need a cleanup. So something to get the house ready. Some of them might need some extensive work. So then it's going to be a longer process before that house is back on the market. All right, so then you've got the house is ready to sell. Hopefully that just took a couple days or whatever. During this part, your attorney's handling, running the title, got the title back, you're setting up the closing, you're closing on the house. Usually you don't do extensive work on any house until you actually own it. So that's, you're working out these different parts of the process. So the house is all fixed up, ready to go. Then you put it on the market. Then you're marketing for buyers now. So you marketed for sellers before, now you're marketing for buyers, which a lot of this is just putting it up on Zillow and you can get a lot of response. Just once it hits Zillow, you may get bombed with calls, because remember, you're going to put, if you're doing a creative financing buy and hold type of deal, you're going to put beautiful rent to own home, bad credit, okay. So you're going to get a ton of calls just off of that. So now you're marketing to buyers, you're talking to buyers on the phone, you're doing same thing like opening call, closing call, deal meeting. Same thing as on the buying side, you're doing that on the selling side now. So you're working with your buyer, you're talking to them on the phone with an opening call, pre-screening them, making sure they have enough money down and whatever else you need to know. The question there is, what's the most you can put down on your beautiful new home? So then you find some good buyers. Sometimes we'll do an open house. That's a great way to market. And we'll have a whole bunch of buyers coming in on Saturday between 2 and 3. And we'll find our buyer every Saturday. Somebody's going to be in that house at the end of the day. So that's what on the selling side. So you do marketing, then you talk to buyers, opening call, closing call, deal meeting. In the deal meeting, you collect their non-refundable down deposit as much as they can come up with. And then they go in for a final closing. So now they are going to sign with your title company or attorney as well. Just because if they're giving you a big non-refundable option deposit, 15, 20,000, it's a way to handle it much more professionally. Okay, so then you collect your big non-refundable option deposit, turn over the keys, it's a done deal. Okay, so that's all the pieces of the puzzle. Wow, that was a real crash course on real estate investing. I just went through the entire business, pretty much every little piece of the puzzle that you need to be focused on to make deals happen. So now, if you can look at this in a diagnostic way and say, what part is not functioning properly for me right now? Do I have leads coming in? Okay, is my business set up properly? Do I have a good name? Are leads coming in? Are the leads getting called back? Are the leads being followed up on? That's a big thing, because when you make a bunch of calls, a lot of times you don't get a hold of people, so they got to call you back. Are you connecting with them on the callbacks? Are you calling them back? How is the process working, and is it smooth? Are you talking to a lot of people? And then is it short circuiting at the closing call? Do you need more skills as a closer? Do you need Lynette and me to help you close deals? You'd be in the Wolf's Deal Club. So I always encourage people to check out the Wolf's Deal Club, because we can actually make closing calls for you. And if that's where you're losing deals is on that part, that might be that piece of the puzzle that you really need help with. Okay, so that's closing calls with sellers. So, so where's the hang up in your business? Kind of do a diagnostic. Now, if you have our what to say and what to do system, there's a really incredible form that I want you to fill out, and it's called Our Building Blocks of Automation. Our Building Blocks of Automation. It's a sheet, and it's got every single step I just went through is on one sheet of paper, and they're all in boxes. Each step is a little box that leads to the next box, and you work the business all the way up. So right now, if you have the what to say and what to do system, I want you to go on ourwolfpack.com, download every form in the automation and organization system. When you bought the What to Say system, you also got the automation and organization system, which is a bunch of my best forms that I created over the years. And one of them is this Building Blocks of Automation form, where you can see the whole business laid out on one sheet of paper. It's a very easy way to see all the puzzle pieces all on one piece of paper right in front of you. And you can even write in who's doing each thing. So where it says seller closing calls, you write in, both Joanne and I am doing that, but sometimes we have our assistant do that or whatever. So you're writing in whose name of the person who's responsible for that, completing that puzzle piece. So don't forget you have this form. It's one of the greatest forms I ever created, and it's an unbelievably great way to make sure your business is covered. You got all the pieces of the puzzle put together. Wow, that was a lot. Okay, but it was a lot to cover, so I wanted to cover it all. Morning, Jennifer. How you doing? Good morning. Charles, good morning, everyone. You guys were chiming in early. Hey, Brian, here's a cool book I think you would enjoy. Reading 10% is easier to achieve more by doing less. Okay, cool book. What's the name of the book? Reading 10 times is easier than 2 times. Okay, read 10 times is easier than 2 times. Okay, I'll have to check that out. All right, guys, anytime somebody else gives a good book review or suggestion, you can check it out too. Good morning, Mr. Mazer. Is it Mazer or Mazer? Calling me Mr. Wolf, all official. Good morning, Nolan Cafe. That's a big, bright good morning, all caps. I love it. Good morning, Michael. Good to see you here, buddy. Keep showing up every morning. Like the rest of this gang. Mike V, take it as it comes, and if it doesn't come, go get it. And if you can't get it, create it. But make things happen. I love it. Mike V, what a good affirmation. Set of affirmations. Positive programming. Morning, KJ, with all your hearts and that cool car. Bill, good morning, Bill. Yes, 10%. Oh, Grant Cardone. Okay, that's a book by Grant Cardone. So that should be easy to find then. Good job, guys. Golden stuff here. That's right. You bet, guys. Bill Welch. Okay. Okay, guys, so check out the book that was recommended here. Awesome. Yes, always trying to get you guys great information. This one is actually worth watching over maybe because I go through so much stuff on this one. You could actually just write it out, but remember, just look up that building blocks of automation and everything I covered is listed there in a gorgeous form, in a form. 10 times is easier than 2 times. Okay, how world-class entrepreneurs achieve more by doing less by Grant Cardone. Okay, guys, check that book out. We all want to be more effective, efficient, and complete our puzzles, right? Thank you, Charles. Thank you, everybody. What a great morning today. Lots of great participation. I love the participation. So I will be back tomorrow at this same bat time, same bat channel. I should say wolf time, wolf channel, right? Same wolf time, same wolf channel right here. So let's, what's our affirmation for today? I love completing my puzzle. No, that's kind of long, isn't it? I love puzzles. I put together my puzzle. I put together my puzzle because it's your real estate investing puzzle and you're putting it together. I put together my puzzle on three times on three. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I put together my puzzle. I put together my puzzle. I put together my puzzle. Yes, and when you put it together, you get the reward of looking at this beautiful, complete puzzle, and money was going to start rolling in. So 3 deep breaths. Nice deep breath in. Hold it a sec and let it go. Nice deep breath in. It almost makes me giddy when I get those deep breaths going, right? It's good for you and it makes you smile. Nice deep breath in. Always with a big smile. That really changes your mindset, and let it go. All right. What a great day. Everybody's doing great. Bobby Green, love to see you here. I'm going to bring that card that Bob sent me and show it to you one of these times because it was so nice about the grandbaby. So love to see you guys, and I will be here. Live for the Lord. Yes. You put together your puzzle. That's awesome. Yes. I love it when you guys do a lot of great participation today. So until I see you tomorrow, what you're going to do? You're going to keep expecting success, getting the best training, and taking action.